What's up, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson. Today is finally the day we've been talking about for many weeks here on the channel. It's time to apply our pre-emergent. So stay tuned. We're going to get into why today is the day, what we're going to be applying, and how much. Stay tuned. What's going on, YouTube? It's Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you so much for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. Today is the day, as you saw in the intro of this video. It is time to finally apply our Prodiamine pre-emergent to prevent crabgrass for the next 6 months in our lawn. This is a crucial application that we've been talking about multiple times here on my channel and pretty much across all of YouTube if you're looking at lawn care channels. This is critical because this application is one of those applications that completely stands your lawn apart from other lawns. You're not going to have the crabgrass weeds. You're not going to have hardly any weeds at all if done correctly, and it's going to stand your yard out like a beautiful blanket of just beautiful fescue, ryegrass, whatever you may be working with. It's going to make your lawn stand out. It is so important. So we're going to get in today about what we're applying, which is obviously Prodiamine. Why is today the day? It's cold out right now, so we're not applying right now. I'm filming this early in the morning, but we're going to be doing this in a few hours when the temperature rise. But number one, the first thing you want to make sure, guys, when applying your pre-emergent is that you want to make sure that you clean your lawn. If you got leaves all over the place, you don't want to be spraying your pre-emergent on top of the leaves. We want to definitely clear off any leaves. I don't have many back here, but I do in the front yard have sticks from we had high winds the past 2 days. The second thing is, after you spray, you do want to make sure you water at least ½ an inch so that you can activate that pre-emergent into your soil so that barrier is there and it begins to stop the germination of anything trying to come up. Again, a warning to those that may want to be overseeding grass seed in spring. If you do what we're doing today in applying your Prodiamine and pre-emergent, when you go to throw down grass seed, it will not germinate because you've put that barrier down to prevent anything from coming up. Keep that in mind. If you're wanting to overseed, if you're wanting to plant grass, sure, you can put down your Prodiamine like me today. You can take a garden weasel, tear up small sections, and plant grass. It will grow. You're going to have to break the barrier of the pre-emergent. So I just want to put that warning for new people. If you plan on overseeding, you do not want to do this herbicide pre-emergent application. It will prevent your seed from growing. You'll completely waste your money there. We don't want that to happen. Why are we applying it today? Let's quickly answer that. We've talked about it 1,000 times in previous videos, but when temperatures are between 50 and 55, that's when we want to be applying our pre-emergent, because when we start eking at 55 and above, crabgrass begins to germinate for 3 or more consistent days over 55 degrees. Today it's going to be 64 air temperature wise. That means our soil temperatures are going to be raising. I looked at it this morning, it's at 48 right now. So we're probably, with 64 degree air temperatures today, going to be getting over the 50 degree mark. It is definitely time. When we come back here in just a second for you, we'll have the backpack sprayer up here and we'll just talk about the rates that I use each and every year, why I use that rate, and how it works every single year. Guys, so we're here in the infamous Mr. Ferguson backyard, or excuse me, back lawn, where I still need to pressure wash my patio. Whoever keeps mentioning it, I know, you're right. Our pressure washer needs a gasket. We got to work on it, whatever. So pre-emergent, let's get right into it. So we're not going to go into the detail of the math or anything, but as I mentioned in my pre-emergent or pre-emergent guide playlist, which you can find just on the main channel. Scroll down, you'll see playlist, pre-emergent guides. I've got several videos from the past years where we're going to do the exact same thing we do in those videos as we're going to do today. This is my huge Prodiamine bottle that I bought when I first started lawn care. You do not need a bottle this big. This will last me until I die. This is so much Prodiamine. You do not need it. If you're interested, I'll link this much below. If you have a lot of property, you will need more, obviously. But something like this from Yard Mastery, this is 5 ounces. This will last you several years, or should. This is full. I don't even think I've opened it. It was a gift to me. But a 5-gallon or a gallon jug, similar to the next products, is overkill. You don't need this much. You can buy it and be good for life, or you can get one of these, or if you want to gift one of these to your buddies, just to say, hey, this is how you stop crabgrass. You can gift these little ones. We'll link these below if you're interested. But on your bottle, the point of this, of showing you this, is on your bottle, on the back, I have written my applications. I don't have to go and do the math anymore because it's already here. I've done it. So to cut to the chase, we've got other videos. Again, I'll link them up here in the top corner somewhere. You can go check out these other videos where we go through the math portion. But for me, to do 3 months of coverage with Prodiamine and Split Apps, I need to apply 0.732 ounces for every 4-gallon tank. So if let me always have to share this with you guys. With the sprayer setup I have with the nozzles from GCI Turf, this is a 4-gallon backpack sprayer over here. This is the Flowzone Flowzone Typhoon. It is a 4-gallon sprayer. However, I'm going to do my whole 8,000 square feet in one tank, and I'm going to move fast. I always do everything in 8,000 square feet with the 4-gallon. So every half gallon is 1,000 square feet for me. So I'm going to do 0.732 twice. I'm going to put two of those applications in. I'm not, now if I was to really slow down my pace and fill up my tank again with 0.732, I could do it in 2 tanks. I'm doing it one tank super fast. Every half gallon is going to be a fourth of 0.732. Point being, if you've got a 4-gallon tank and you've only got 4,000 square foot lawn, then if you do 0.732 ounces of Prodiamine, that will cover all 4,000 square feet of your lawn. If you've got 8,000, you can then do a refill, or you can do like me if you have the appropriate nozzles and the output, and do this twice, which I'm going to just add these 2 numbers together. That'll be below because I'm editing in this, and here's what it is. I'm going to fill that up in this sprayer, and that's what I'm going to do one time, and that'll be it. The next thing we're going to need is we're going to need to stir it up. This is a little simple paint stirrer. You've seen this in most probably lawn care channels. There you go. And that's all it does, is attach it to your drill. This is going to help when we're going to mix it up. The Prodiamine itself, let me show that to you. The Prodiamine itself are little yellow pellets. And so this will dissolve in the water. As you can kind of see there, these little pellets will dissolve in the water. So it's not, they're very fine, and that's why we're measuring this in ounces. And so when we pour it in the water, yes, some of it will dissolve, some of it won't. We want to make sure we stir that up good, and so we get it all mixed into the 4 gallons of water in our tank. Can you add other products? I would be careful and read the label, but sure, if you're in the active growing season, if you want to do a little bit of humic acid, throw a little bit of humic acid in there with it. It's up to you. Just be careful. Do a little mix, not all the way in the backpack sprayer, so you get some concoction that is not going to spray and it's too thick or too heavy. Mix it, make sure it's compatible, then do that. But yes, adding a little of the CK we've talked about recently would be great. But you want to mix it up in your backpack sprayer and then just do a natural spray. The second most important thing is that you need to water it in, a 1/2 inch of water. I think we just talked about that earlier, but you need to water it in. I don't want to take the risk of the pre-emergent just sitting on the blades and not getting into the soil. The soil is where we need to get this app, right? So you want to make sure, we said, you clear your leaves off, clear the branches off, mainly leaves, so that the application is hitting the grass blades, hitting the dirt. And then we want to be sure and water that so that it sets in the soil, so we're preventing weeds from coming up. So lawn care is fun, you know, but my hose over here, my reel that you guys have seen, is now busted, water spraying everywhere. Be prepared to get wet, be prepared to get irritated. So I go over here, grab this hose. Well, the head busts off, water's going everywhere. That's why you want to wear old clothes, eye pro, hand pro. And so I've got one dead nozzle I bought last year. So praise God anyways, right? So, all right, now that we're here, the first thing you want to do, I'm trying to move quickly now, is we want to fill up our backpack sprayer first with at least 1 gallon of water. So we're going to quickly do that. We got some good water pressure going on right now. Good, expensive water. So the next thing we're going to do, now that we got water, is we need to do exactly what we said. We're going to do this application twice, which is 0.732. You need to have a scale for this. I will link a cheap Amazon scale below. It'll not only give you the scale, it helps the channel, so you win, we all win, right? Want to set that on here, and we want to, I think this is big enough, and we're going to hit power on. Let's see if I can show you this on the camera. And so when I put the little measuring cup on there, if you can see that, I don't know if you can with the lights, it's going to weigh it at like 0.08 or whatever. So you want to hit, make sure, number one, your units, right now it's in pound. We want our units to be in ounces. It's got to be in ounces. So make sure you put it in ounces. If it says LB or in pounds, you want to be in ounces. Then when we put on our little cup, we also want to hit tare. We want it to go to 0, so it equals the cup. We want 0.732 ounces of prodiamine, not the cup weight as well. I hope that makes sense. So let me get back down here. So now that I'm setting it down, it shows like 0.04. That's fine. If I hit tare, there we go. All right, it went to 0. So now we're good. So now we can use our prodiamine. So I'm looking for 0.732. And I'm just going to, instead of adding that number together, I'll just do it twice. Let me go back. That's way too much. So let me dump some of that back in. Let's do it again. I wasn't paying attention. Thinking it's going to take longer. All right, we're at 0.60 with that little bit. So let me go. We want 732. Now, it doesn't have to be spot on, but we want to get as close as we can. So you want to go slow. And depending on the kind of scale you got, mine just shows the tens and the hundredths. So I'm at 0.67, a few more, 0.71, just a little bit more. And it's bouncing between 0.74 and 0.78. 0.74, there we go. So guys, I want you to see this. Look, that's how small. You see my hand, I'm 5'10". This is my little hand. This is how big. This is how much prodiamine is half. That will cover 4,000 square feet. This little teeny bit, 4,000 square foot for 3 months of coverage. It's very, very minuscule. You do not need a massive jug like this, all right? So this is all we're using for half. We're gonna do this twice. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump this in, but at the same time, I just wanna go ahead and stir this water up so that when I dump it in, it's going ahead and blending it in like so. And we will definitely want to blend it in with the water, and it just makes it look like a yellowy, nasty color. And so there we go. We're blending that in, and obviously we got to do this one more time because we're covering 8,000 square feet. And there you have it. And there it is, 0.732, just a little bit. Same thing. So I've got 8,000 square feet. That's why I'm doing it twice. I'm going to put 8,000 square feet worth of product down in one tank. You do not have to do it the way I do it. You can break this up into 4. It depends on your nozzle and your backpack setup. All right, so we have mixed our prodiamine. We've weighed it out with our scale. We've got links below if you need prodiamine. We've got links below if you need measuring cups. We got links below if you need a scale. You can help support the channel and get the products you need. It's not too late if you're watching this in February, beginning of March, depending on where you live. You can still put down prodiamine. It may not be too late, but as we said in the beginning of the video, remember, you can't overseed once you put this down unless you break up that area that you're trying to seed. So keep that in mind. So the next thing is, as I let this kind of bubble down, it will foam up. Again, you can mix in fertilizer, you can mix in biostimulants if you want on this application. And the next part that I do is I like to do a trim pass first. And many other YouTubers, Pete mentioned as well. I like to go, I've got a little slim section over by my truck that you guys have seen. I like to do that with the trim nozzle as well as up to my mailbox. And then I like to outline the front yard as well, and then come back with a bulk wide spray nozzle, which is a GCI nozzle buddy, I believe is what he's called it. And that we do the bulk section of the yard at a quick pace. So I'm covering all basically 81, 8,200 square feet. I go a little bit above 4 gallons on my sprayer as well, which is almost perfect for my lawn specifically. But I'm walking at a fast pace spraying this, and every year I've never had a problem. But here's what we're going to do. Since I'm a YouTube channel and I am here to let you see things that you would not normally do, once we apply it, we want to water it in. You want to do a ½ inch of water, and I keep saying it. Why you keep saying that? Because I want you to get it into your soil so that it does its job. But being a YouTuber and being that I'm on year 5 of this lawn, I am not going to water in my Prodiamine. Let's see what happens. Mr. Ferguson, you're going to risk it? Sure. Why not? If we have crabgrass pop up, we'll know why. Mr. Ferguson did pre-emergent, but he didn't water it in. You can have crabgrass. I've never had crabgrass since I've applied Prodiamine. Let me say that again. I have never had crabgrass in my lawn that I have found since doing Prodiamine. This will stop crabgrass from your yard. So I am not going to water it in, and it not only will save me time today, but we will do an experiment throughout this season and see, because Mr. Ferguson didn't do it, did it affect his lawn? Now, the other part of this is, now that we got our mix, all we got to do is spray it now and we're good to go. And then you would want to water in if you're not me. The second thing we're going to do is about 30 to 35 days, we're going to do this application again for a second time. It's called split applications. Why are we doing that? Because we want to make sure that our coverage within the next 30 or so days is going to extend out all the way until the summer months. This is 3 months, right? And we're in February. So we're talking about March, April, May. It would start wearing off our barrier. But if we do it in 30 or so days, if we do another application, you're talking about May, June, July-ish until our pre-emergent starts wearing off and breaking down. So we do split apps. We could do one bulk app and just throw 6 months worth of coverage out there, but we want to try to use this coverage to stop the initial germination period of crabgrass, and then we're going to do another app in about 30 to 35 days when we get closer to, I believe it's the 60-65 degree soil temperature mark. We're going to do this again to make sure when the next round of crabgrass begins to try to germinate, we catch that as well. We keep our pre-emergent barrier going for a long period of time. This is long-lasting pre-emergent stuff. All right, guys, so we've applied our Prodiamine to the lawn. Here's a couple clips of me spraying it. I just don't like dragging the camera all the way around. You guys know what it's like to walk with the backpack spray and spray it. So no cool music or anything like that. We've applied it. I'm sticking to my word as much as I'm like, crap, why did I say that? Because now I got to do it. I don't want crabgrass, but we're going to test it. I'm not going to water this in. I've applied it to every inch. I put it in my rocks. I put it in my flower beds where my bushes are. I put it down here by the shed where the rocks are. We've applied it everywhere. We had just enough, so I did the right pace. That's why I'm out of breath. So now we're just going to wait and see. It's going to be 64 today. There's a good chance this dries on the blades in the sun. Some areas it may seep into the ground. Is it going to work? I don't know. Stay tuned, stay subscribed. Don't forget about our giveaway as well. Make sure you're subscribed. More info as we get closer to 6,500. We're going to make a video, a specific video that will be the video to where you need to make sure you're subscribed, you comment on that video, you like it, and then we'll draw from that video's comments more than likely. It's either gonna be the comments or subscribers. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. Maybe it will be comments because that means it'll be less people because it's the more active people that are watching and actually commenting on the video. So it'll probably be comments. So get into the routine of commenting every video. Start with this one. So Prodiamine down, hope yours is as well. That's it for us today. Have a great Friday. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm out of breath. God bless you. We'll see you next time.